Emang udah masuk ya?
Fine, ini udah mulai kali.
Oh iya udah. Bukan gitu.
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Weekday Tech Talk, our weekly series where we talk about interesting topics in technology. How are you guys today? I hope you are all doing great. My name is Mutiara Kansa Abdillah, but you could address me Mutiara, and I'll be your host for today's Tech Talk session. So, for today's Tech Talk, we're going to discuss about understanding AI in a simple way. In this session, we'll learn what artificial intelligence is, how it works in a simple way, and how AI is used in our daily lives. I hope after watching this video, you will have a better understanding of AI and why it's becoming so important. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for this week. She is a grade 11 software engineering student who loves learning about technology and sharing her ideas with others. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Faiha Wanda Nabila.
Hi Mutia, hi
Hi
everyone.
Faiha, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. So that's a great to hear.
Mhm.
Without further ado, the stage is yours, Faiha.
Okay, thank you so much Mutiara as a host of Today We Can Tech Talk
All
sessions.
right.
Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining We Can Technology Talk. So, wait. Okay. In these occasions, I would like to bring a topic about understanding AI in a simple way. When people hear the word AI, they usually think about ChatGPT, Gemini, or maybe even robots. But actually, AI is much bigger than that. Today, we're going to learn the basics of AI. So, even if you've never learned about AI before, don't worry. By the end of the sessions, I hope you'll understand what AI is and how it works. Okay, first of all, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Faiha Nabila. People usually know me as Faiha, and I'm from 11th grade software engineering student at IBM Boarding School Ahwat. I've been learning web development since 10th grade, and during that time, I've built several website projects while continuing to improve my skills. Besides coding, I also enjoy exploring new things, such as joining organizations and participating in different activities. Today, I'm excited to share my experience and introduce you to one of the most interesting technologies right now, which is artificial intelligence or AI. We'll talk about what AI is and how it works. I hope these sessions will be useful, enjoyable, and easy to understand. So, let's get started. Alright, how many times have you used AI today? Maybe you're thinking only once or twice because you only use ChatGPT or Gemini for make projects, but actually, you've probably used AI many times today without even realizing it. Here, I have an example. You guys can see in this picture when you use Google Maps to find the fastest road or when Siri helps you on your iPhone. All of this use AI. So use AI to improve their products and service. Why? Because AI helps people work faster, make better decisions, and process large amounts of data. Can you guys imagine checking 1,000 of pieces of information by yourself? It could take hours, but AI can do it in just a few seconds. That's why many companies are investing in AI today. Move to the history of AI. In 1950, a scientist named Alan Turing asked an interesting question. If humans can think, why cannot machines? These simple questions become the beginning of AI research. Then, in 1956, John McCarthy introduced the term artificial intelligence at the Dartmouth Conference. Today, he is known as the father of artificial intelligence. At that time, computers were still very limited. AI only became much more powerful in recent years because computers are faster, the internet is everywhere, and we have much more data. So, what is exactly AI? What exactly is AI? Artificial intelligence is technology that allows computer to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. For example, recognizing face, understanding language, translating text, or helping people make decisions. Okay, I have a simple way to understand it. People learn from experience. AI learn from data. The more experience people have, the smarter they become. In the same way, the more data AI learn from, the better it performs. That's why a famous saying in AI is no data, no AI. Now, let's talk about something that often confuses people. What is the difference between AI, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI? Many people think they are the same, but actually, they are connected like different levels. Artificial intelligence is the biggest field. Inside AI, we have machine learning. Machine learning allows computer to learn from data without being programmed for every single task. Inside machine learning, we have deep learning. Deep learning uses artificial neural network which are inspired by how the human brain works. Because of this, it can solve much more complex problems. And finally, we have generative AI. Unlike other AI systems that mostly recognize or predict information, generative AI can create something new. It can generate text, image, videos, or even computer code. So remember, ChatGPT or Gemini is not AI itself. It is one example of generative AI. And right now, we will break it down one by one. The first one, we have machine learning. Machine learning is a technology that uses statistical methods to help computers learn patterns from data without being explicitly programmed. Instead of writing every rule ourselves, we use algorithms that allow the computer to learn from the data and improve its performance over time until it reaches the desired goal. After this learning process is complete, the final result is called a model. This model can then perform tasks based on the training data it has learned. So, the machine learning basically is learning from the data, and the result is called by model. Okay, I have an example. Let's imagine we want to build an AI that can recognize cat. We don't tell the computer every single rule about what a cat looks like. Instead, we show it 9 pictures of cats. After the computer learning from all those examples, the computer begins to recognize the patterns. And the computer will understand, oh, this is probably cat. And this learning process is called machine learning. That is one example of learning process called machine learning. Okay, move to deep learning. Deep learning is a part of machine learning that is based on artificial neural networks. It is more complex than traditional machine learning because The learning process consists of several layers, including the input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. These multiple layers help the computer learn more complex patterns and solve more difficult problems. That's why deep learning is commonly used in technology such as face recognitions, self driving cars, and medical image analysis. Finally, we have generative AI. Generative AI is the more advanced part of deep learning. Unlike other AI systems that mainly recognize or classify information, generative AI can create new content based on the user's input. The model used in generative AI can generate many types of content, including text, computer code, image, audio, or even videos. The popular examples are ChatGPT, Gemini, and Cloud, which can create image from text descriptions. And I guess you often hear about these three generative AI, and maybe some of you use this for your daily life because me too. And generative AI has become one of the fastest growing AI technologies because it allows people not only to analyze information but also to create something completely new. And because of this generative AI, they really help us for brainstorming the projects or maybe help us in code or design. Okay, we already understand the different types of AI. The next question is, how does AI actually work? And let's go through them one by one. The first step is digitalize and collect. At this stage, we collect and store the data that will be used to building the AI system. This is one of the most important things and important steps because the data determines what the AI will learn and what tasks it will be able to perform. A simple way to think about this is no data means no learning. Without data, AI cannot learning everything or anything because as we know, AI is learning only from data. If there's no data, so AI cannot learning. And the second step is transform. Transform means preparing the data before the AI can learn from it. This process includes cleaning the data, changing it into the required format, and removing any unnecessary and incorrect data. We repeat this process until the data is ready to be used for training. Think of it as like preparing ingredients before cooking. If the ingredients are clean and ready, the final result will be much better. The third step is train. This is the learning stage. Here, we choose the right algorithm and train the AI using the prepared data. The goal is to help the computer learn patterns from the data so that it can perform the required task by itself. After the training process is complete, we get trained AI model that is ready to be used. The fourth step is execute. At this stage, the trained AI model is used to perform real tasks. Then we analyze the result again to make sure the AI performs as expected. If we find any problems, we can improve the model and make it better. So AI development doesn't stop after training. It is continuous process of testing and improving. The final step is provide insight to make decisions. Once the AI performs well, we can use the technology and insight it provides to support decisions making. This insight also help us understand how to improve future AI system. In other words, AI doesn't just give us predictions, it also helps us make better decisions. One last thing to remember is that data is always changing. For example, new information is created every day. If we keep using the old data, the AI model may become less accurate over time. That's why we need to update the dataset and train the model again regularly. This process is called model training. In many real-world AI systems, this retraining process is also automated so the model can continue improving as the new data becomes available. Okay, there's a famous saying in AI, garbage in means garbage out. It means that if we give AI poor quality data, it will produce poor quality result. Good data leads to good AI, and bad data leads to bad AI. So we know in this AI system, data is everything because without data, AI cannot learn everything. Okay, today we've learned that AI is much more than just ChatGPT. We've explored its history and how it works. I hope that after these sessions, you won't just use AI, but you'll also understand the ideas behind it. Technology will continue to grow, so instead of being afraid of AI, let's learn how to use it wisely and responsible. Because remember, guys, AI is not magic, it is data, algorithms, and learning. And this is one of the challenges things because we know that most of people scared AI will change the positions of human, but actually the truth is not, it will not, because AI is only learned from data, and that data was basically made from a human. So even AI can learn by themselves, they also need a human hands for being a better result or a better AI system. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new today. And see you in the next Weekend Technology Talk. I'm Faiha Nabila, and peace out.
All right. Thank you so much, Faiha, for the great explanation. I learned a lot today, and I hope everyone watching did too. And now let's move on to our Q&A session. If you have any question, feel free to raise your hand or drop them in the chat. But before that, I have one question for you, Faiha.
Okay, what is that
All
mood?
right. The
Mhm.
question is, what generative AI tools do you use most often, and why do you use them?
Okay, generative AI tools that I use most, right?
Yes.
I usually use ChatGPT for my daily life, especially for helping brainstorming to my project. And usually, if I didn't understand about something, I will probably ask ChatGPT. Yes. So generative AI that mostly I use for daily life is ChatGPT. But if I need something for research or yeah, if I need something to research, I prefer Gemini for that because Gemini is AI from Google. So I guess it's more it's actually like easier, and I guess it's better than ChatGPT for research something.
Oh, okay, that's all.
Yes.
Thank you, Faiha, for answering my question.
Mhm.
If you have any question, everyone, feel free to leave them in the comments below.
Yes. Okay, I guess I read one of comments in here. Where is my name of my cat? Should I answer what?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Um. Maybe I just will mention three of my cat's name. The first one is Milo or Milo. The second one is Macha, and the third one is Michael. Yes. That is uh, several cats. My name Kate. My cat's name. Sorry. Um, at first, actually, I confused um, what example can I give about the machine learning, and then suddenly I think about my cat, so that's why I give examples with my cat's photos, and it's actually work. So that's why.
Oh, you have a lot of cats, Faiha.
Yes, I do because my family loves cats so much. Who's love cat here?
If there's anything you'd like to ask, just leave your question in the comment, everyone, and we'll do our best to answer it.
Yes, yes, yes. I'll wait.
Wow, Nabila Fiko, she wants to ask something.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes, yes. What's this?
Okay, for our first question comes from Aisha Halana.
Mhm.
Faiha, have you ever been afraid of how smart AI is? Faiha, would you like to answer that?
Okay. That's an interesting question. And honestly, at first, I do scared and afraid with smart AI because I think AI is very powerful, but I don't. After I learning more about I don't think it was something to be afraid of. Instead, we can use it as a tool that can help us learn, work, and solve problems more efficiently. Because if we can use AI wisely and in the correct way, it can be used. It can be something very useful, or it can be really helpful for us. So the exactly answer is I ever been afraid of smart AI, especially in my programmer positions, because there's so many people who say that um 2000 the programmer will gone because right now people can easily make website applications with AI easily, and that's that statement is make me scared at first, but after I learn more about AI, actually it will not. And as a programmer, it could be a really helpful, and yes, it can be really helpful for us if we can use it correctly and wisely. So it actually depends how we use it too. Yep. I hope it answer your questions, Lana.
Okay, thank you, Lana, for your question. And now let's move on to our next question. This one is from We. What's the good AI companion to use when you're having a trouble with coding, Faiha?
Okay, having a trouble with coding. Um, Actually, there are many great AI tools for coding, and the best one depends on what you need. Personally, I often use ChatGPT because it can explain concepts, help me debug errors, and even suggest improvements to my code. But if you're working directly in a code editor like Visual Studio Code, GitHub Copilot is also a great option because it provides code suggestions as you type. The important thing is use AI as a learning partner, not just copy and paste code. And every time you ask the code to AI, you can always try to understand the solutions before using it. So um, better you ask what the problem is, and you ask the solve. Then you only ask the solve without knowing what is the actually problem.
All right. Thank you, We, for your question. And we have a question from Nakia. So, Nakia, you can ask to Faiha.
Okay.
Hello, Faiha.
Hi, Nakia.
I have a question.
Mhm.
The question is, where do people use AI the most?
Okay. Between the AI family, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The people most usually use generative AI because it's basically things that platform that we usually use, because right now generative AI is actually the most and the fastest updated one in AI system. So that's why people mostly use generative AI for daily life because in this right now in the situations there's so many several kind of and type of generative AI. So that's why in this generation, yes, in this generation, people usually use generative AI for their daily lives.
Okay, thank you, Faiha, for the answer.
Yes, thank you, Tunaki, for the questions.
So we have another question. It's from Dina. You can ask the Faiha, Dina.
Hi, Dina.
Hi. So, Faiha, by the
Mhm.
way, uh, I love your cat. It's so cute.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
next for the question, I
Mhm.
want to ask about what is one AI tool you couldn't live without?
Okay, one AI tools that I can without live with without the AI. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, probably ChatGPT because it's
Okay.
actually like my friends. Every time I will need something, I need to identify problems or maybe suggestion solution, I always ask to ChatGPT. Even between ChatGPT and Gemini, I often use the ChatGPT. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Yes, thank you, Dina.
And yep, we're moving on to another question. This question is comes from Queen Hera.
Hi,
Hi,
Faiha.
Queen.
So I will gonna ask you some question.
Okay.
What is should school allow students to use AI for homework?
Okay. Oh wow, that's wow. That's actually I have I ever heard that problem lately about uh student that using AI for homework. Mm, for me, I think it's fine to allow to school allow students to help them using AI for doing homework, but with notes that they ask AI for help them to learn, not ask the AI for directly the questions. Sorry, the answer. Because if like that, the one who do the homework is not the student, but is the AI. So that's why we have to educate the student also how to use AI wisely, and because AI is actually the powerful things that if we use it wisely, it could be very good for us. But if we use it not wisely, it will be a bad impact for us too. So yeah, I guess for myself it's yes, allow, but with notes that we have to give them educations that use AI plus wisely.
Okay, thank you so much, Faiha.
Yes, thank you too, Queen.
Okay. Next up, we have a question from Pucha Shakira. Is it necessary for us to learn how to use AI? Is
Mm-hmm.
not possibly dangerous?
Okay, thank you, Guisha, for the questions. That's a really good questions. I believe it's important for us to learn how to use AI because it's basically already part of everyday's lives. And whether we're using, like example, last time using Google Maps or social media, AI was already there. And of course, AI does have a risk. It can sometimes provide incorrect information, create fake content, or raise privacy concerns if it's used irresponsibly. But I don't think the answer is to avoid AI. Instead, we should learn how it works, use it responsible, and always think critically about the information it gives us. So that's why we have to know about how AI works and how to use it wisely. And last time, I also often mentioned about this. In my opinion, AI is just a tool, just like the internet or smartphone. So it can be used for good or for bad. and it's like about um, what matter most and how we choose to use it. Yes, so it depends on ourselves for choose it.
All right. Thank you, Faiha, for the answering this question, and thank you for Tuisha too. And all right, I think that's all for today weekday tech talk.
Yes.
A big thank you to our speaker Faiha and Nabila for sharing such an interesting topic with us today. And thank you to everyone who joined us. We hope you enjoyed the session, learned something new, and found today's discussion useful. See you again in the next episode of Weekday Tech Talk. Thank you, everyone, and peace out.
Peace out. Bye
Bye.
bye.
See you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Maria.
See you, bye.
Good job. If you guys want to know about my cat